beginning, when I started, we had rules which were close to sailing rules, adapted to windsurfing. And then everything goes so fast that we can't really judge on sailing rules.
It's also super hard to take decision as we are going more than 30 knots everywhere. It's hard to take decision, explain also the different situation as it's going so fast. And I think it came 20 years ago or 15 years ago because it was way too long on the beach with the jury and the stuff like this.
Especially when we are so reliant on the wind and we only have a few narrow gaps, for example, in these conditions.
Imagine somebody crashed in the semi-final and you need those results for the final. So in the end, at one point it stopped making sense and somebody thought, why don't we just have no rules? And at first it sounds a little like extreme.
In no rules, there's only one rule actually, which is no dangerous sailing. Except that you can do everything you want to do. Sometimes it can be a bit on the limit.
I actually like it because you can basically do whatever, but we always do a gentleman agreement in between us. No, you need to be nice with the rest of the flip.
The principle in itself is quite genius, you know, because contact 99% of the time means you're in the water. So we try to avoid it.
Kind of the luck should even out, or the luck or the bad luck should even out over the whole season. So sometimes, yeah, you get caught in bad situations, but then in other situations you might actually take advantage of this concept. So over the year, it should be kind of okay for everyone. And yeah, there's no questions, there's no protests. We don't lose time in the protest booth.
I have to admit, sometimes it's unfair with no rules, because some people are trying harder and do stupid moves, kicking somebody out.
But last year I had one incident myself with dangerous sailing. Like I was going to go for a jibe and then someone tried to cut in the inside where I think there was no space. And then he crashed into me. So that's the downside of the dangerous sailing, but in the end I think there's more positive sides to it than negative. That's for me the little edge we need to make the sport really interesting and extreme. Because for me that's where it's all about.
I end up in these situations where guys kind of try to take advantage of me, like here in Guadeloupe when I had a little situation with Bruno.
Bruno was behind and he was quite far behind. He tried on the last jibe. It could have been the magic move of the event.
I'm more of a gentle rider, I would say. I try to avoid the situations when I can, and sometimes other people might take advantage of that. So therefore, most of the times I don't even look at the other guys anymore. I just try to do my race.
For the rider, I think it opens new lines and new overtakes. You can do certain things which with sailing rules you couldn't do. There was clearly a gap and I misjudged it by 10 centimeters, you know. I just touched Matteo, his nose with my foil, and we both ended up crashing. If I made that move, it would have been a sick move. But I misjudged that.
There are some situations where you can guess that a crash is intentional. You can feel things when at mark number 1 there's kind of some touch in between sailors. You look at them at the next mark and the one that got kind of screwed can be more aggressive.
One of the riders was getting into my zone, let's say, for 2 events, and then I got crazy and I crashed on her.
Oh, that was a nasty crash there.
So if you give something to me, I'll give you back in the next jibe or next race. So that's how it balances the whole thing.
I got disqualified. I thought they were right to disqualify me because I crashed on her. But in the other side, I think that most of the guys do these things and they never been disqualified. So it's something that they need to be more open and be more clear with that, because sometimes they do something crazier and they don't disqualify.
Decisions are made by the judges on the water. At each mark we have judges and they look at the racing and they can directly disqualify someone. I'm the head protect judge overlooking the situation from the beach, and I also look at replays.
Yeah, actually, I've been speaking today with one of the girls, and after this crash after being disqualified, I'm taking a lot more care with what I'm doing, not because I did it, but because of the vibe I create around. And I think that really hurt me as an athlete.
You can put the different rider, different player in some group. There is guy with who I know I can go, or I know they will go and they will go fair and clean. And there is some other guy who don't really have the control and the techniques to go. So you have to watch out and maybe stay a little bit away.
And you want to be able to look the other guys in the eyes after the end of the day.
Even if you're right or wrong, in every case, if you are on the water, you're going to miss the qualification for the next round, so it's not good.
I think actually the no rules make it safer. Don't try to crash, because if you crash, you're out.
But it made the racing much more interesting.
I like it because we don't waste time protesting. It's based on human connection, and I like that.
I have the feeling watching at yesterday in Guadeloupe the foil races, I was seeing Formula One drivers at 300 kilometers between walls and playing by half a centimeter into each other, nose on top of the tail of the other one, like very. I think they see everything slow motion and they can understand, guess what the other is going to do. They have lots of control, and that pushes the sport in another dimension. And what they can accomplish is amazing. And I think the rule made that change in the sport.
There he is. Amado makes his move right up into fourth place. What a jibe from Amado Vrieswijk.